Are you sick and tired of failures that make you feel stuck and defeated? What if I told you that every mistake you make is the key to your biggest win? The famous samurai Miyamoto Musashi saw every task as a chance to get smarter, stronger, and unstoppable. We'll learn powerful lessons from Musashi in the video that will help you turn problems into wins and setbacks into successes. Lesson 1. Embrace failure as a teacher. People often try to avoid failing because they think it will make them look bad and make them feel let down. But Musashi thought that failing was an important part of growing. In his early duels, he lost a lot, but he didn't give up. Instead, he used those losses to improve his skills and tactics. Every mistake teaches you something. We learn what doesn't work when we fail. It makes us think, examine, and find ways to get better. But don't let loss define you. Instead, use it to help you get better. Musashi was one of the best swordsmen in history because he knew that every mistake was a chance to improve. This is how a lot of successful people think these days. I have not failed, Thomas Edison famously said after making the light bulb. I just thought of 10,000 ways this won't work. Failure is an important part of getting better. Don't be afraid of it, welcome it. When you fail again, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? In what ways can I grow from this? If you see loss as a teacher, you can turn setbacks into useful lessons that help you get better. Lesson 2. Shift your mindset. A strong mind is what makes you successful. Miyamoto Musashi knew that how we deal with problems depends on how we think about them. You will fail if you think that's the end. You will get higher if you see it as a stepping stone. Change your attitude from one of limitation to one of growth. This is the key to turning setbacks into successes. People make a big mistake when they see problems as signs that they have failed. When things go wrong, they think they are not good enough or that they will never be successful. But Musashi knew that every fight, win or lose, was a chance to get better. He always had faith in himself, even when he lost. He instead learned from his mistakes, improved his skills, and came back better. Changing your attitude starts with changing how you think about failing. Say to yourself, I'm learning, instead of, I can't do it. Say, I will find a way, instead of, this is impossible. What you say to yourself has power, and how you talk to yourself shapes your world. Controlling your emotions is another important part of having a strong mind. A lot of people get angry, scared, or doubtful of themselves when things go wrong. Musashi learned to keep his cool under pressure because he knew that feelings can make it hard to make good decisions. He took on every task with a clear head and made choices based on reason instead of fear. Practice being self-aware to build this way of thinking. When you're having a hard time, take a moment to notice your thoughts. They may be stopping you, but are they helping you move forward? Train yourself to replace negative thoughts with strong will and drive. Musashi thought that the way a person thinks is what makes them strong or weak. You can handle any problem if you can control your thoughts. If you have the right attitude, failures can help you reach your goals. Lesson 3. Stay resilient. Being resilient means being able to keep going even when things get hard or you fail. It's the difference between people who give up and people who achieve in the end. In his life, Miyamoto Musashi had to deal with a lot of problems, but he never let them break him. From a very young age, he was put through tests that would have made most people give up. He didn't give up when things got hard. Instead, he used every challenge to make his mind, body, and spirit stronger. Musashi's toughness was most clear in his fights. He fought over 60 duels and never lost, and most of the time it was against bigger or more experienced opponents. He was hurt, outnumbered, or caught in scenarios that seemed impossible at times. He never gave up, though. He knew that being resilient doesn't mean avoiding pain, but rather going through it and getting better because of it. Changing how you think about problems is key to being resilient. Instead of seeing losses as failures, think of them as chances to get stronger mentally. You are like a blade being shaped in a forge. Each blow makes you stronger and sharper. Accept everything just the way it is, Musashi wrote in the Book of 5 Rings. This means facing truth, no matter how hard it is, and keeping going with determination. Discipline is one of the best ways to become more resilient. Musashi worked out all the time, even when he didn't want to. He knew that the key to success was to be consistent, even when things went wrong. Also, in your own life, you become resilient by keeping going even when things get hard. Don't give up when things get hard, whether it's in your job, your relationships, or your personal goals. Keep in mind that failures are not the end of the world, they're just tests of how strong you are. The longer you go through something, the stronger you get. Lesson 4. Adapt and innovate. Life is hard to plan for. Problems will come up and things will change, no matter how well you plan. People who succeed are able to change and adapt, while people who fail stay stuck in failure. Miyamoto Musashi knew this better than most people. Other samurai closely followed traditional ways of fighting, but Musashi was always changing his methods, making his own unique way of using two swords to fight. He was ready to try new things, which gave him an edge over his opponents and helped him win over 60 duels and become one of the greatest warriors in history. When things go wrong, a lot of people hold on to old ways of thought that don't work anymore. They don't want things to change because they want things to go back to how they were. But being flexible is important for success. If one method doesn't work, try another. If an old plan isn't working, change it or make a new one. Adaptation is not a sign of weakness. It shows that you are smart and strong. Innovation often comes from things that are hard. You can be creative and solve problems in ways you didn't know you had when you have to find a new way to get things done. Think about how companies like Netflix did well by changing with the times, while Blockbuster failed because they didn't want to adopt new ideas. Ask yourself, what can I change to make the most of my setbacks? How can I change the way I deal with my problems? If you're open to change and new ideas, nothing can stop you from being successful. Always learn and change, and you will always find a way to move forward. Lesson 5. Develop mental toughness. Miyamoto Musashi was smart as well as good with a sword. He knew that mental strength was just as important as physical power. People who were not mentally tough would hesitate, make mistakes, or give up out of fear and fight. But Musashi always stayed cool, focused, and in charge, no matter what. He was one of the best samurai fighters of all time because he never gave up. Being mentally tough means being able to keep your cool when things go wrong. It's what keeps you going when things look like they're going wrong. Some people give up after a few fails, but strong-willed people keep going. They don't let their feelings run their lives. They don't let fear stop them. In order to stay dedicated, focused, and strong, they train themselves. Being disciplined is one of the best ways to make your mind tough. Musashi had strict rules and spent his whole life getting better. He practiced all the time, studied strategy, and lived his life with a goal. Those things did not waste his time. You need to do the same things to strengthen your mind. You should learn how to be focused even when it's hard. Start your day early, work hard, and don't give up on your goals. Emotional control is another important part of having a tough mind. Thoughts like fear, anger, or doubt could make you lose a fight. Musashi learned to control his feelings and stay calm when things got tough. You need to learn how to do the same things in life. Do not freak out when things go wrong. Instead, look at what happened, keep your cool, and find a way to fix it. Your mind gets stronger as you do this more and more. Being mentally tough is not something you are born with. You have to work at it. Every problem you face is a chance to make your mind better. No problem can stop you once you learn this skill. You will face problems head-on and come out on top, just like Musashi. Lesson 6. Learn from successful people. There are signs of success. Study people who have already done it if you want to learn how to bounce back from failure. This was very clear to Miyamoto Musashi. He learned from every opponent by watching how they did things, figuring out what worked and what didn't, and then using that information to improve his own plan. He didn't let his pride stop him from growing. Instead, he used every battle, struggle, and experience to learn something new. Learning from people who have already been through the same problems is one of the fastest ways to get back on track. Read books, watch talks, and look for advice from people who have turned failures into successes. The lessons they teach can help you avoid making mistakes that aren't necessary and speed up your success. Let's look at Thomas Edison. He tried and failed a million times before he finally came up with the light bulb. That's not how he saw it though. He saw those mistakes as steps toward success. He once said, "Many of life's failures are people who did not realize how close they were to success when they gave up." One of the most important inventions in history was made possible by his determination and desire to learn from his mistakes. Musashi also stressed the importance of always learning. He didn't just learn how to use a sword, he also learned philosophy, calligraphy, and tactics. He knew that knowledge from different fields could help him get better at any subject. The same is true for you. People who are always learning, changing, and growing are successful. Spend time with people who motivate and excite you. Find teachers, learn from them, and use what they teach you on your own path. People who have already done well can teach you important lessons that will help you turn losses into opportunities to do even better. Lesson 7. Take action with confidence. You can't change your life just by knowing things. You have to do something. This was very clear to Miyamoto Musashi. Getting into war did not wait for him to feel ready. He took the first step because he was sure of himself and his skills, experience, and the lessons he had learned. You won't be successful by planning and thinking too much. It comes from being brave and acting even when you don't know what will happen. A lot of people are hesitant because they don't want to fail. They wait for the right time because they believe that one day they will have all the knowledge, tools, or self-assurance they need. But the truth is that waiting makes things stay the same. Musashi thought that confidence grows when you do something, not before you do it. He became smarter and stronger with every battle and task he took on. This is also true for your life. Every step forward will boost your confidence and skills. Doing something does not mean you are careless. It means going forward even though you're scared. You have to know that making mistakes is a normal part of learning and that each setback is a lesson that helps you get better. You must understand that there is more than one path to the top of the mountain, Musashi said one time. This means that there isn't just one way to be successful. What counts is that you keep going. You need to start now if you want to be great. It's important to take steps whether you want to learn a new skill, start a business, or just get better. Don't let fear or doubt stop you. It might not always be easy to see the way, but as you take steps, you will get stronger and more sure of yourself. Trust that you can change and grow, just like Musashi did. Be sure of yourself, and success will come your way.